Hello and welcome to another edition of Ask the Young Cow. I'm Leon Street alongside my co-host today.
I'm Jack Rogers.
Now, we have a very interesting topic for those of you out there in the world of business websites. In particular, those who use WordPress. Now, there are other content management systems on the market, but we're not talking about them today. We're talking about WordPress, and so in particular, we're going to cover a specific topic, which I think we're right in saying that actually it's an important one. And you can probably see on the screen, here's how to make your WordPress website secure and safeguard your business. Now, what we mean by this is steps and measures you can put in place to secure your website. And the way that you safeguard your business is, if ever you've come across a website that has been hacked or defaced, it can either slow the business down if it is dependent on their website and they are using WordPress, or if they have defaced your website and there's graphics or images or content that your customers shouldn't be seeing, or your customers are being sent to some other websites or a virus, obviously that can be a problem for you and your business in terms of reputation and any damages that may have incurred to potential visitors of your website. So today's topic is an important one, wouldn't you agree, Jack?
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into the topic, let's go through some of the house rules. Hashtag ATYC every Wednesday, 1 p.m. UK time. You get to ask us any question that you have about digital marketing, so whether it's content marketing, pay-per-click, Facebook advertising, AdWords advertising, email marketing, WordPress, Magento, websites, anything to do with that, and lots of other stuff thrown in between. If you've got some questions about football, you can ask Jack, and if you've got some questions about business, you can probably ask the both of us. So anything goes. Remember, if you've got a question or a comment, leave them underneath the video if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching this live, best thing to do is hashtag us on Twitter, and we can follow up as we see your comments or questions. So what do they need to know, Jack?
Yeah, so in today's Hangout, the agenda is security plugins, backing up your website, and then we've got a final slide that will give you all the resources to every plugin that we've mentioned. So firstly, we'll go into the security plugins. And the first one we've got is WordFence. This can be a free plugin for WordPress, and it's also got a paid option just for the little extra options on the plugin. So WordFence it prevents your website from being hacked. It blocks potential threats. It helps you to recover your website if it's been hacked already. It filters live traffic, and it also collects data in real time. Now, collecting data in real time, what this means is it uses data from other websites that it protects to stop your website being hacked by a similar virus. So for example, if one website was to get hacked, WordFence would protect it, find out how it got hacked, and use this data to protect your website even further. Yeah,
so I think you've covered a really good plugin. Now, the free option is very good in terms of just starting out. If you're a startup company, or even if you're just moving into security on your WordPress website, it's got some real nifty features. There's an update when WordFence does its automatic scan of your website, and if you are running a cron job where you automatically get WordPress to do its normal checks, if you have no idea what a cron job is, it's just a scheduled task where it does a check on itself, and included in that, WordFence will run automatically. Now, what's really good is when WordFence detects any files that may have been changed. So normally when a website's been hacked or there's a virus been planted onto a website, files will have been changed in order for that hack or that virus to then take effect when people come onto your website, or for people simply to collect your username and password so that they can log into your website and grab any data that's on there. Now, these people do exist, and if you're asking the question, why would somebody do this, forget the why it happens. That's it. The best thing to do is secure your website as best as possible. The more prevention you have in place, the better it is. Nothing's 100%, but we hope that going through this Hangout today, you get some ideas of where you can start. There is the paid option with WordFence, which takes the basic features to the next level with a lot more live monitoring and so on. But we would definitely recommend, if you haven't got any security, just to start with the WordFence plugin, which is free to use. And like anything with WordPress and websites, before you install new plugins, make sure that you back up your website and database. So if anything does happen, you have a backup ready to go. So that's my disclaimer for today, Jack. So I'll let you move on.
Yeah. Okay, so the next plugin we've got is called WP Author Plug. Plug, that should be slug. WP Author Slug allows you to edit the URL of a post if it contains the username for your website.
Yeah, we're editing on the fly. There you go.
So basically, hackers hack your website by finding out the username and password for the admin login for your WordPress website. So if your author name can appear in the URL, and it can also appear as the author of a blog post. So really, if the hacker only needs a username and password to get into your site, if you don't have this plugin, you're just giving them the username. So the only thing they need to figure out is the password. So WP Author Slug allows you to change this to, it can just be your name, or it can be another username that you make up, so it doesn't show the one you log in with.
That's right. Now, this is a really good one. And the reason why I say this is because if you start coming across people trying to hack into your website, which is what WordFence will pick up on, it will show you the attempted login failures, and hopefully they're failing and not getting into your website. Now, this is really interesting because what I've seen even on our own website is that there are username attempts where people have used the author name that is publicly visible on a WordPress blog. So if you've got a blog as part of your WordPress website, normally people will just try an easy way to get into your website by mimicking or copying the author names that appear on your blogs. This is common practice, and so by using the WordPress Author Slug plugin, you actually change the author slug, and so therefore people will have an even harder time of trying to figure out or guess what your username may be. Now, it's a really good one, and like I said, I've actually seen examples where people are trying to copy the username or the author name from a blog. So if you're not using the WordPress Author Slug already, get using it. Make sure that you've updated the author slug for any administrators on your WordPress website. And again, it's just another layer of prevention to stop people getting into your website and causing you bother and pain. Carry on.
Yep. Okay. So the next plugin we've got is GrowMap Anti-Spam Bot plugin. So this plugin replaces the security image at the bottom of the comments field to a tick box. And what this does is it helps you to reduce the amount of spam comments onto your site. So what the plugin does is it finds out whether the checkbox has been checked before a comment is able to be submitted. However, this isn't 100% guaranteed, as you still can get manual spammers onto your site who are able to tick these checkboxes. It's just that little bit of extra security, just so you don't get any spam comments onto your blog posts.
That's right. You can't stop it. As I said earlier, nothing is 100%, but the more layers of prevention that you put in, you help to just discourage people more and more. Now, I mean, we use this plugin ourselves and we still get spammers trying to put links going back to Ugg boots, Michael Kors bags, game hacks, you name it, they try it. And, you know, there's nothing that you can do to stop that. But the key thing is layers of prevention, folks. So I'll let you carry on, Jack.
Yeah. Okay. So now we'll move on to backing up your website. So your WordPress backups are worth the same as your entire investment in your website. The day may come when you get hacked or your hosting company does. Without good backups, you'll lose everything.
We hope it doesn't come, but you know, Jack's just saying there's a possibility.
Yeah. So backing up your website will allow you to return your website back to a previous time when it was working. So ways to do this are with plugins again. So there's an example plugin here called Updraft Plus. Again, similar to WordFence, this can be a free option or a paid option. So as Leon said before, it just enhances the free option just to give you those little bit extra. So this plugin allows you to back up your WordPress website manually and on a schedule. So this means you can manually go into the plugin on your WordPress dashboard and click backup. and it will create an instant backup of your website, or you can create a schedule for the backup to be daily at a certain time, or if you prefer weekly, it can be weekly. So that with this plugin, it gives you options for where you want to store your backup. So for example, this can be to Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, and even FTP. So it gives you a lot of options where you can save your backup.
Great stuff. Now, what I would say, folks, I know we've gone back to video, just so you can see our handsome faces. There are lots of plugins out there. Now, for us, these are the ones that definitely work. We're going to touch on a bit about hosting backups in a moment and give you one particular example. Now, what I would say is test them. If you find that something's too complicated or whatever, you know, just look at the reviews on plugins, read the reviews first of all. You'll find that there's more plugins with downloads off the official WordPress website. So go with the ones that have got lots of downloads and positive reviews, because that will probably give you a good indicator. And if you read some of the reviews, you're going to find some technical techies in there who will comment on specific features and aspects of a plugin. And so you'll probably get a fair idea of whether or not to use it. Now, there's a couple of other ones that I want to mention, and we do have a resources part to this Hangout today. You probably want to look at a company called Securi. Now, they offer live scanning for your website, but it's a paid service. They offer a free plugin as well, but their paid service is worth its weight in gold. They do live scanning on your website, so they give you a bit of a script as a web page. It goes onto your server, and then they're able to scan your website automatically. Here's the real value. If your website's hacked, no matter how many times, what they will do is restore your website back and clean it, all as part of that service. I think it works out to something like £80. It's probably around about $110 to $120 if you're watching this outside of the UK. So, you know, it really is worth looking at. So that's Securi. Securi, yeah, just make sure I've got that clear. The next one is BPS Pro. It's another one that we've used. And so when we've had to really harden the defenses on a WordPress website, because for whatever reason, a website's been targeted by hackers or spammers because it's got a lot of popularity, a lot of traffic and so on, and obviously they want to infiltrate that website, we've used BPS Pro. One of the really cool features for me is that it has an automatic backup and restore feature. So let's assume the only things that you put onto your WordPress website are new news articles or products if you've got an e-commerce plugin running on there. What you can do with BPS Pro is that it will back up specific files and folders, and so if ever any of those files or folders are changed within 5 to 15 minutes, depending on how frequent you set it, it will automatically restore to the previous backup. And so the previous backup is one that you set. And so it's not going to back up to one that was already hacked, if that makes sense. And so within the space of 5 minutes, even if a hacker has got into the website, it will go bang, restore. Now, there is still a problem there, because if a hacker has got onto your server, obviously there's a hole in the loop somewhere where you do need to fix it. But the point is that it will give you just that bit of extra time, whereby when the notification comes through by email from the BPS Pro plugin, at least you'll then be able to act, but be in some kind of safety. And I say it's very limited here, is that your website should still be working after 5 minutes, but you'll then need to get either one of your developers or a company like us to help you out to clean up the website. So that's just a few extra plugins. If you've got any other plugins that you recommend, guys, please leave them in the comments box underneath this video, because we'd also be interested to see them, and for you to share them with people watching this video. So I think at this point, we're going to jump back into the next part of the Hangout. So over to you, Jack.
Yep, so the next part is we've got hosting backup. So another option you have is to back up your website with the hosting company. So for example, we use SiteGround, and all their hosting packages include something called a free daily backup. So this means that on a daily basis, it will back up your website. So if you find a problem, you can go back and back up to the last daily backup it did. So yesterday, for example, in just a few simple clicks. And the good thing with SiteGround in particular as well is it's got a hack alert that alerts you to when any files on the website have been changed. So this is probably, I would suggest it's a good option to go and look into your hosting provider to see if this is something that they provide for you as well. And I know the best thing with SiteGround is that they've got a very good support center, so they can either do it for you or obviously help you and guide you to do it yourself.
Yeah, so the live chat's really good. Now, what I'd also say is that check into your hosting, because most hosting companies and hosting packages that you'll be on do have a backup feature. Now, this can also fail. So I don't want you to think this is the be all and end all of backups and this is where you're safe. Hosting companies do have backup servers, and on rare occasions, even when they have a feature called RAID, where they have 2 hard drives making a backup of your website or whatever's on that server, potentially there is a small but significant chance that those hard drives, both of them, can fail. It's happened to people online, it's happened to customers that we know who've had more sophisticated hosted packages. But all we're saying is that your hosting company will generally have a backup feature, but don't be reliant on it 100%. Now, the plugin that Jack mentioned earlier, where you can do your backups to places like Google Drive or Dropbox, they're brilliant because they'll go to some kind of cloud storage where there'll be multiple servers as part of that service having backups. So really, that will be another option you should consider. But look into your hosting company. It's another great way just to make sure you've got that extra bit of layer in your, I suppose, restoration plan if ever your website was hacked and you need to get it back up. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So now we've just got the page here called resources. So this is where you can go through and find all the WordPress pages for where you can download the plugins. And also we've got the blog post at the bottom that we did a while back now. So we're just doing some hangouts based on WordPress plugins just to help you optimize your experience with WordPress.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to click on that post and get a heads up of what we might be talking about in the future, then just click on that link there.
Right. Now, if they're watching this video, how do they click on the link, Jack?
So after this hangout, I can see you smiling at me now. After this hangout, I will be putting this presentation onto SlideShare.
Yeah.
And once it's on SlideShare, I'll link it back to the YouTube video, so you also have the PowerPoint presentation.
Okay.
So you can go in and click on any link that's on the PowerPoint.
Okay. See, he's got it covered,
Yeah,
folks. I was
testing
testing him. Cool. So make sure you check out those resources, guys. Conclusion.
Yep. So now you have an insight into the benefits of using security plugins and backup plugins on WordPress. So there are a lot more benefits to these plugins than we mentioned earlier. There's too much to mention, I think is the right thing to say. So if you want to view all the benefits of the plugins, just click on the resource links next to each plugin and you'll be able to read however much you want to read about that plugin before you decide it's great for you.
Cool. Nicely put. So remember, guys, get your WordPress website secured, get it backed up, do as much as you can to ensure you give yourself a chance if ever it does happen, and don't just sit there and think, oh, it won't happen to me. You know, it definitely won't happen to me. Now, what I would say is just have a plan in place, whether you back it up daily, weekly, or monthly, depending on how often you update your website. That should determine how often you need to make a backup. So if you've got frequent updates going onto the website every day, then have a guess what? You need to make daily backups and make sure you've got some kind of plan for that. Now, with some of the paid for plugins, they have these types of features in there where they've got backup facilities and so on. So look into those. There are more. Go out, do a bit of research. Don't just take our word for it. We're giving you some options and insight into the ones that we use that do work, but you know, you're welcome to go and look into this area yourself. But hopefully we've just got you thinking along the right track so you can move that part of your business forward and actually know you've got some kind of plan or prevention or something to help you in the event of your website either going down or being hacked. I think that's about right, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you really need to talk to us, there's a telephone number 01902213326. Otherwise, check out the website at www.youngcow.co.uk. Let's wrap up. So remember, hashtag ATYC. You can hashtag us on Twitter. Any questions, any comments, if you like the videos, if you don't like the videos, go watch something else. If you've got any questions in particular about digital marketing, please ask us. We are here to help. There's a few videos you'll find on the YouTube channel. I think we've just smashed through 55,000 views. We're not quite at the league or the level of those YouTube gamers, but hey, we're getting there bit by bit. I think it might take us some years at the rate we're going, but hey, you know, every little helps. Every Wednesday, 1 p.m. UK time, it's Leon Street. It's Young Cow in the place. That's me alongside my co-host,
Jack Rogers.
And we're out of here. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.